Good morning everyone. I'm Kajal and today we are going to discuss your next chapter of the 10th class students. So today we are going to discuss the sense organ chapter of the 10th class biology. So let us begin this chapter. Do you know what is the meaning of sense organs? In our body there are 5 types of sense organs. By that way we are feeling taste as well as if somebody is touching us, the pain, pressure and all the things that senses we are getting, that organs that are responsible for that touch or for that sense, that are known as the sense organs. I told you there are 5 types of sense organs in our body. First is tongue. Tongue is useful for the taste. We are able to taste by the help of tongue. So tongue is also a sense organ. Next one, eyes. We are seeing the objects, we are seeing all the things. That means this is also a sense organ. Next one, ear. Ear, we are hearing the sounds as well as something is going to happen around us. Immediately we came to know that what is going to happen, okay, by sound. And who is responsible for that? Ear, okay. Next sense organ is your skin. Heat as well as somebody's touch or your own touch you can feel by the help of your skin. Not only touch, not only heat, even the other things too, like a cold, hot, warm, all the things that you can feel with the help of skin. So next one, I told you ear. One remained, nose. Nose, you can smell with the help of nose. So these are the 5 types of sense organs that are giving you the taste, touch as well as the other senses. So these are known as a sense organ. In this chapter we will discuss about the 2 main sense organs, ear and eye. So let us begin with about that. Firstly, the eyes. Eyes are in a human body. Eyes are playing a major role. How they are playing the major role? Because you are able to see the world, see around you, as well as the whole things like the objects, the nature, beauty, all the things you are seeing with the help of eyes. Eyes are responsible to show you the colors of the world as well as the colors around you. So they are playing a major role. You can't feel the pain of a person, those are blind, because they can't see the world, they can't see the beauty of the things. So eyes are a very beautiful gift that is given by the God. Two eyes are in our body and these eyes are embedded in the orbits. In our skull part, the bony skull, the 2 hollow spheres are there. These are known as the orbits, and in these orbits eyes are embedded. Next one is their eyelids. Eyelids are playing the major role. For how they are playing the major role? Because eyelids are upper and lower ones. Upper ones are movable, and if some foreign object is entering in your eye, then immediately you will close your eyelids so that to prevent the entry of that foreign object, and that will not enter in your eye or will not harm your eye. So that is the function of eyelids they are performing. Next one, eyelashes. Eyelashes are also playing a major role in your eyes. Eyelashes are responsible to prevent the foreign agents as well as the dust particles they are not allowing to enter in your eye. Eyebrows are there. Eyebrows are also responsible. They are also sticking or preventing the entry of foreign agents. And next one, the tear glands are present. You know, whenever you are emotional, when you are feeling sensitive, whenever somebody hurt you, like that way you started crying. How you are started crying, and from where these tears are coming? These tears are coming from your tear glands. These tear glands are present on your this part near your nasal cavity, as well as that is present on the upper eyelid. Okay, that is the location of your tear glands. And whenever you become sensitive, then ultimately, because they are having one opening near this side to your eye and one opening they are having in your nose. That's why whenever you are crying, then with your eyes your nose also starts running. Why so? Because that tear glands also secrete some tears in your eyes and the nose also starts running due to that. And you know that what is present in the tears, in the tears lacrimal gland is present, and In that way, the lysosome is enzyme is present in your tears. Lysosome enzyme is present, that is responsible to lubricate your eye, as well as it is washing the dust particle, it is washing the foreign agents that are responsible to hurt your eye, as well as if they are going to harm, then they are washing it. So that is the function of the tear glands they are performing in our eye. Next one, we are going to discuss about the structure of the eye as well as the parts of the eye. So let us begin. Firstly, I want to show you one model of the eye. Here is one model of the eye. You can see here eye. If we talk about the eye, this is the structure of your eye. This part of your eye is known as the eyeball. This is known as your eyeball. It is embedded in your orbit part. So this is your eyeball. What are the other parts of the eye? If we talk about the eye, in the eye 3 layers are present. One chart I have displayed there, I had shown you there. So side by side we will I will explain you the functions as well as the whole layers, about the whole layers. Firstly, just see from here. Okay, afterward we will discuss that one. See, from this model you can see that these one are known as the eyelashes. Eyelashes, I already told you which one is known as your eyelashes. Okay, next, in your center of your eye, lens is present. Lens is biconvex, means that is circle from both sides. Concave lens is present. Next one, cornea part. Cornea part, this whitish part of your eye that is present around the colored part as well as the center, that is known as the cornea part, whitish part. Okay, and this is colored. Next one, iris. Now what do you mean by iris? Iris is the colored part of your eye. Just in the center of your eye, black mark is there. Okay, around that black mark, the colored part of the eye is present. Some persons having that colored part, blue, brown, blackish, that indicates the color of the person's eye. So that is the iris part. Iris part is the colored part of the eye. Next, the lens is holded by the help of the muscles that are known as ciliary muscles, and ciliary muscles are also suspended with the help of suspensory ligaments. Suspensory ligaments are present there, and the ciliary muscles are present that are responsible for the shape of the lens as well as holding the lens on its position. So that is their function. Next one, as I told you, in eye 3 layers are present. Okay, outer layer or the first layer of the eye is known as sclera. Okay, middle layer of the eye is known as the choroid layer, and the inner layer is known as the retina. Retina is responsible for the image of the eye, means the shadow that is forming, the image that is forming on the retina. By the help of that image we are able to focus, or we are able to see the object. So that is the main function of the retina. Okay, so from this model these parts are clear to you. So we are going to discuss their functions now. First, as I told you, first layer of the eye is known as sclera. Sclera is formed with the tough fibrous tissues, and that is the outermost layer. Sclera, when it is coming in front of our eye, it is converting in the it is covered with the transparent layer that is known as conjunctiva. Conjunctiva is the transparent layer, and that is formed with the single epithelial layer. Okay, and that is transparent, totally transparent in front of our eye. Next one is known as the cornea layer. Cornea, as I told you, the whitish part of our eye. Cornea layer is the colored part, and cornea is responsible to give the vision and is responsible to give the moisture, and that part is there. And sometimes some persons are suffering with the disorders of the eye. In that way their cornea part is totally affected, that are opaque, and by that way the persons are not able to see the objects properly, that objects are blurred. So in that sense their cornea part is replaced with the healthy cornea. So by that way it is happened. Next layer is known as the choroid layer. Choroid layer is richly supplied with the blood vessels. In this layer the blood vessels are present, and a melanin pigment is present in this layer. What is the function of this melanin pigment? This melanin pigment prevents the light rays from reflecting. Okay, it is responsible for the to prevent the reflection of the light. So melanin pigment is present, it is also responsible to give the color of our eye. Next one, pupil is present. Pupil is present in the center, okay, and it is present in the front of our lens, eye lens. Pupil is a circular center opening, center part, blackish part, that is known as the pupil, that is responsible for the opening of the eye also, and it is also responsible to change the size of the lens according to the light entering to our eye. Sometimes you have seen that when the intense beam of light will enter in your eye, we will blink our eye, or sometimes we close our eye. In that sense, the size of our lens becomes shorter, okay, to prevent the most entry of that light in our eye, okay. So, and if the dim light is present there, then automatically our eyes becomes widened to see the object clearly. So that is the function of the pupil. It is responsible for that opening and the closing, and it is responsible for that adjustment of the eye. Next, iris is present, colored part of the eye, as I told you. And iris, due to the presence of iris or due to the color of the iris, the color of the eyes are changing. Iris may be blue, black, green, and different colors are there. So that is the function, colors of the eye, colored part of the eye. And in the iris contains two type of muscles, radial muscles and the circular muscles. Radial muscles are responsible to widen the pupil. If the pupil will widen, then it will happen in the dim light to see the object clearly. Circular muscles are responsible to constrict the pupil, means they are responsible to, they are acting in the intense beam of light to constrict the pupil, so that they will prevent the entry of that intense beam of light in the eye. Next one, ciliary body or the ciliary muscles, they are responsible for the shape of lens. Next one, suspensory ligaments are present, they keep the lens on the position. Keep in mind that in the exam days or in the exams, the function of these two are coming. So ciliary body and ciliary muscles are responsible for the shape of the lens, but suspensory ligament are responsible to keep the lens on its position. So there is a difference in their function. Next one, or the third layer, is retina. Retina layer is sensitive to the light. Okay, in this layer the two type of cells are present, rod cells and the cone cells. They are responsible, or they are sensitive to the light, they are responding according to the light beam. First, rod cells become active in the dim light and they are not responding according to the color, because in the dim light or in the dark, if you want to see, you have observed that you are not able to recognize the proper color. All the things you are recognizing but not the proper colors, because in that sense, which cells are becoming sensitive or which cells are becoming active? Rod cells, and they are not responding to the color, they are only focusing, or they are allowing your eye to see the objects. So rod cells are becoming active in the dim light, and which pigment is present in the rod cells? Rhodospin. This question is also coming in the exam days. They are asking the difference between rod cells and cone cells on the basis of their pigment, which pigment is present. So in the rod cells, rhodospin is present. If you want to learn it by this way, rod, it is starting with R letter, and rhodospin with R or R, which is present in the rod cells, rhodospin is present. Next one, if you talk about the cone cells, in the cone cells are becoming active in the bright light, and they are allowing us to see the colored vision, means they are giving us the colored vision. Okay, and in this one, which pigment is present? Iodospin is present. So these are the functions of these ones they are performing, as well as this is the parts of the eyes, and they are performing their different functions. Two more other parts of the eye are also there. First is known as the yellow spot, and the second one is known as the blind spot. Now, what do you mean by yellow spot and what do you mean by blind spot? Yellow spot is also known as the macula lutea. Okay, macula lutea or the yellow spot. That spot is present near the retina. Okay, this is present almost at the center on the horizontal axis of the eyeball. This is the location of it, and here the yellow spot is present. What is the main function of the yellow spot? Yellow spot is responsible for the vision of the eye, because most of the sensory cells are present on the yellow spot. Which things are present? Sensory cells are present on the yellow spot, and these are responsible for the vision of the eye. Second one is known as a blind spot. What is the function and why it is called as a blind spot? In the blind spot, no sensory cell is present, and this is not responsible for the object. It is not allowing the eye to see the object as well as to focus the object. So that's why it is known as a blind spot, because no sensory cell is present in it. So this is the blind spot, and this is known as the yellow spot. So this is all about your eye. I had told you about all the functions of the eye, all the structures of the eye as well as their functions. So we have discussed about that in this video. Hope you understood. Thank you very much.